So, welcome again to another session of Everyday Mathematics. Now, today we are still on our journey of looking at trigonometrical functions as regards integration. And we start off with the problem in the quarterfinals of the MIT 2023 Integration B, and that was problem number 2. And as you can see, it was the integral of indefinite integral of cosine 3x times cosine 5x times cosine 6x times cosine 7x minus cosine x times cosine 2x times cosine 4x times cosine 8x. It looks a little bit complicated, but it's not. It's actually a very easy problem. Now, before I jump into the solution, a quick encouragement to those of you who are here for the first time or are back but have not subscribed to just press on that subscribe button. It's good for us that we gain a little bit of visibility, but also for you, this is important because it means that every time we have something uploaded, you get that notification. So on to the solution of this problem. The first thing that you want to use is to use this identity here, where if you have a product of cosine A and cosine B, that's the same as half into brackets cosine A minus B plus cosine A plus B. So if we look here, we'll start by the first two terms, cosine 3x and cosine 5x. And then that turns out to be half of cosine 5x minus 3x, which is cosine 2x, plus cosine 5x plus 3x, which is cosine 8x. And then cosine 6x and cosine 7x, the same as half of cosine 7x minus 6x, which is cosine x, plus cosine 6x plus 7x, which is cosine 13x. And then on this other side, where you have cosine x and cosine 2x, that's the same as cosine 2x minus x, which is cosine x, plus cosine 2x plus x, which is cosine 3x, times half of cosine 4x and cosine 8x. So cosine 8x minus, 8x minus 4x is 4x, and 8x plus 4x is 12x. And so when you multiply those together, 2x cosine 2x times cosine x, cosine 2x cosine x, cosine 2x times cosine 13x, cosine 2x cosine 13x, cosine 8x times cosine x, which is cosine 8x cosine x, cosine 8x times cosine 13x is cosine 8x times cosine 13x, minus these halves here, you multiply them together and you get minus a half, and you do the same procedure, cosine x times cosine 4x, which is cosine x cosine 4x, and then cosine x cosine 12x, which is cosine x cosine 12x, and then cosine 3x and cosine 4x, which becomes cosine 3x cosine 4x, cosine 3x cosine 12x results from multiplying cosine 3x by cosine 12x in the above equation. So you repeat the process again with this identity, and that what leads you to right here cosine 2x and cosine x is cosine x plus cosine 3x, because 2x minus 1 is x, 2x plus x is 3x, 2x plus 15x is 15x, 13x minus 12x is 11x, 8x minus x is 7x, 8x plus x is 9x, and you continue all that, and eventually when you multiply the halves by a quarter outside the bracket, you have 1 over 8, and so you have before the minus sign, it's 8th into bracket cosine x, cosine 3x, cosine 5x plus cosine 7x plus cosine 9x plus cosine 11x plus cosine 15x plus cosine 21x. And after the negative sign there, you have eighth of into bracket cosine x, cosine 3x, cosine 5x, cosine 7x, cosine 9x, cosine 11x, cosine 13x, cosine 15x. So what happens is this cosine, eighth of cosine x minus eighth of cosine x, those cancel out. Eighth of cosine 3x minus eighth of cosine 3x, those cancel out. Eighth of cosine 5x minus eighth of cosine 5x, those cancel out. Eighth of cosine 7x and minus eighth of cosine 7x, those cancel out. Eighth of cosine 9x and minus eighth of cosine 9x, those cancel out. Eighth of cosine 11x and minus eighth of cosine 11x, that's cancel out. Eighth of cosine 15x minus eighth of cosine 15x, those cancel out, and now you are only left with 1 over 8 integral of cosine 21x minus cosine 13x, because we pulled out the 1 over 8, which is a common factor. So eventually you have the integral of cosine 21x minus cosine 13x, and that's an indefinite integral, which results in 1 over 8 into bracket 1 over 21 sine 21x minus 1 over 13 times sine 13x plus c. And that is your final answer. And the c there is just an integration constant. So that brings us to the end of our solution today. Again, a quick encouragement to those of you who have not subscribed to just quickly press on that subscribe button and walk this journey with us. Thank you so much, and till the next solution, adios.